Good evening. Welcome to Coffee Talk. Good evening, KP Heathen. Joshua Humphrey. Holly Ivans, welcome. Verna, welcome. Five in the house, five likes. Thank you. Six in the house, six likes. So I did a live stream last night. I was trying to do one every night. Last couple of weeks it has not gone that way. Actually, about the last month, it's not gone that way. I was really sick for a couple of weeks, and I did very little. Did very little. I went to work, but I did very little as to my channel. Good evening, Bert. Bert's Beats. An excellent channel. If you are not subscribed to Bert's Beats, or if you're out there lurking and you want a good channel to join, I encourage you to subscribe to Bert's Beats. He puts out consistent, excellent, consistent content. Uh, yeah, 2 weeks. I'll have the kids for another, oh, I don't know, 9 days maybe. And that last day is a work day. Actually, about 8.5 days because we'll let them out early on Thursday. About a half day on Thursday. Marie Holiday, welcome. Die Bullfrog 79, welcome. Yes, and happy Mother's Day to the mothers. You're doing summer school? No, I don't want any part of that. I did summer school for 8 years. I did 8 years worth of summer school. Do not want to do that anymore. Uh, now I'm having flashbacks on summer school. Except I wasn't in the classroom, I was running the damn thing. Oh man, I could tell you some stories. You like teaching? Okay. Uh, I'm sort of enjoyed teaching again. First 7 years when I started in education, I taught, and then for the last 23, I was a school administrator. And 5 years in my first district, I was in my first district for 17 years, worked my way up. For 5 years in my first district, I was the summer school principal and I was the evening school principal. And that was when I was an AP. I run the evening school program and I ran the summer school program at my district. We had a lot of kids filling a lot of classes, and in order to try to graduate as many as we could, we'd even have. I used to do a summer school graduation ceremony for the 7 or 8 kids that would graduate at the end of summer school. We'd have a handful of kids that would, graduate at the end of summer school, and I would do a little graduation program for them with their parents in our auditorium. Um, Bad body, not so fit. How's it going? So, when I'm up to it, I've got the time. It's usually on weekends. I'll do um, I'll do some community wall posts, and a lot of times what I do, I'll post images of stuff going on or preps that I recommend with prices and such. And then I'll take the last live stream that I did and I'll have a list of whoever came into it, and I'll do a couple of community wall posts and then I'll link their channels. I'll say check out, and I'll shout out their channels. So I did that for the 20 channels, 20 people that identified themselves. I did 2 community wall posts and I did 10 each. I linked 10 channels each of the ones that came in last night. If I'm up to it tomorrow, I may do the same thing this evening for those of you who come in, and I'll try to shout you out and link you. Melinda Elliott, welcome, Melinda Elliott. I also did a playlist this weekend, and I run some live streams, did full replays. A couple of y'all are in here tonight that I ran. I try to spread it around, but there are certain channels that I try to keep up with them, and I try to run their stuff. I'm way behind on viewing. Truthfully, I used to watch everything that Uncle Al would put out. Now I watch most of his shorts. I get most of his shorts, come up my feed, and I leave likes and comments on his shorts, but I have not been watching that many of the videos. I just don't have time, don't have the energy. Here lately, I don't know if I'm just tired, worn out, or whatever, but I've just been not feeling too good, sort of sick. Got a little bit of a sinus headache right now, so I took a couple of those high blood pressure chlorosectin, the green ones that are good to make you go to sleep. So we'll see how long this one goes tonight. I did get Joseph Moore's box loaded. I did a video of it. I got it edited today, and I haven't uploaded it yet, but I'm planning on releasing it as a premiere Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. It'll be under 20 minutes, but it's a nice one, and it shows what I put in my boxes, and nicely edited. It's got a little bit of music with it in places. I mean, I put effort into it. Joseph Moore is a very nice young man, very supportive, and my way of giving back to people. Mom of 4 boys. Welcome, Mom. So, I mean, you look at channels that are growing, and I'm going to look at one real fast. All right. Burt's Beats. 14,214.2K subscribers. My channel was bigger than his 6 months ago. He's really grown. He puts out really good content. He's really grown. I was looking. I'll take screenshots of my, you know, analytics and such. I was looking at my analytics on January the 2nd. I had 1,511 subscribers. 1,511 subscribers. Just over 1.5K. You know how many I have today? We're talking 5 months later. 1,562 subscribers. I've grown 50 subscribers in right at 5 months. I was growing over 100 subscribers a month. But for whatever reason, you know, and it comes down to the amount of effort that I've been putting in my channel. I have not been putting the effort. I haven't had the time or the energy to put into my channel. So it's everything I can do, trying to do a 1 hour live stream every day. I try to do a few shorts here and there. I've been putting out a few more recently. And I try to do a few community wall posts. And every couple of weeks I try to put out a video. You know, I don't put out just to put out. You know, I don't put out just to put out. But I mean, giving props, Bert, his channel's growing like you would not believe. And I don't think my channel will ever grow like that one. Even when I get back to putting out effort this summer, because I'll be off for a couple of months. And then I'll get back to trying to put some effort into it. But if I was growing at the rate I was growing before, I should be at about 2K. I should be at about 2K, and I got about 440 to go before I get to 2K. So maybe I'll pick up some this summer. That's great that you have cool friends. I am not jealous, and I take nothing away from what you're doing. You have an outstanding channel. I was very pleased with myself when I was growing about 100 subscribers a month. And for a period of a good chunk of time, every month or so, I'd grow by 100. I do. I have cool friends. I don't have as many of them as I'd like, but I have cool friends. And you get to know who your friends are. The ones that stay with you. You know. I mean, I've had people that I thought were my friends, and for whatever reason, you know, and I'm just talking about in life, you know, your friends are your friends. You can tell who your friends are because they'll be with you when you're not doing too well, than when you're just doing well. Those are your friends, and you can count your friends usually on, I mean, really friends that you can count on. You can count on them usually on one hand. And I've been blessed over my life. I'm 62 years old now. And in my life, I've had 7 or 8 really good friends. I've got a couple of good friends right now that live near me that you know, that if I need something other, I can contact them. If they need something, they can contact me. But most of my good friends, I've outlived them. The people that I really cared about, dear to me, most of them are gone now. You know, I've got lots of acquaintances, but most of my friends have passed. And for whatever reason, I've usually associated with people who are older than me. Like my 2 closest friends right now are both in their their 70s. They're 10, 12 years older than I am. And that's usually the way it's been, is I've usually associated with people who are older than me. Sometimes older than me that have health issues, you know. And I've attended a lot of funerals of people that I really cared about, you know. So I'm really downing myself right now. I'm really depressing myself right now. I'm sorry. Uh, Probably run everybody off. Um, yeah, teaching is really a ministry. If you look at the term rabbi, rabbi translates teacher. That's what they would refer to their spiritual leaders, their teachers, rabbis. And if you really want to talk about, when you say Jesus or Jesus or whatever, that's Greek. That's the Greek. Well, Jesus is Spanish. But if you really want to use the name that um, the Jews would have known the Lord as, is Joshua. So if you say you're referring to Joshua, I know you talked about Joshua in the Battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down. You know, Joshua, who was the successor to Moses. Well, the Lord, his name was Joshua. You know, but they used the Greek. They used the Greek with this, you know, Jesus. And there's your history lesson for the day. That's one of the things about the church. They don't like to talk about certain things, and they don't like to have to explain. They want you basically to believe what they want you. It's like their talking points. They want you to believe the talking points. Don't ask questions. Yeah, that's true, Bert. Um, you know, back in the day, I was, I was, I was doing a live stream, and one of my friends, who's about my age, was talking about getting in trouble, got in trouble for smoking weed in the bathroom back when they were teenagers, 40 odd years ago or so. You know, and I picture this person, and I think I can't picture this person smoking weed. You know, but I mean, everybody's young at some point in time, and you never imagine what we do or what we did when we were young. You know, like skateboarding, surfing. Now I was never a surfer, but I did skateboarding. I was really enjoyed skateboarding. I like to do 360s. I like to do ramps and all that sort of stuff. You know, used to have a place called Holly Hills in Corpus where I used to like to go. It had lots of concrete. You know, you could, and I enjoyed that when I was young. I had a bonsai board. You know, but you know, like driving today, just nostalgia. Me, I'm doing, got the cruise control set on 60. It's a 75 zone. I'm doing along 60. And the kids do it 80. You know, my daughter, I got a 25-year-old daughter that she always wants to drive. She doesn't like dad driving. She doesn't like dad driving. You know, my wife doesn't like me driving, you know, and She doesn't drive that fast, but I mean, I'm old. My eyesight's not that good, and my depth perception, my range of motion, I can't do what I used to do. You look at these, and I'll give you a secret because I've known this for a long time. When I was younger, like when I was 40, I was really into martial arts, and I still could do a lot of what I used to be able to do when I was a kid because I was trained in martial arts. And when I was 40, I could do a lot of what I could do when I was younger. Not as fast. I didn't have the physical strength. I didn't do the weight training, but um, today I can't do any of that. But you would have, because I'd go to tournaments and I would compete in tournaments and such, and you'd have like a third degree black belt that was like my age, and they would compete, or what they call sparring. They would compete for points against like a first degree black belt, like somebody younger, and you'd have a 20-year-old first degree embarrass a 40-year-old third degree. You know, you'd have some. I mean, they'd knock them on their butt or whatever. You'd have, it'd be embarrassing. It would be embarrassing, and you really are, teenagers, your early 20s. That's when you're really physically at your peak. Your speed, your range of motion, what you can do. You're not your wisest. When it comes to making judgments and such, and you're probably not going to be your greatest knowledge, because that comes with age. Also comes with studies. But as far as physical abilities and stamina and such, when I was 30, I could do a lot. I could still do a lot. 40, start slowing down. 50, oh yeah. Yep. 60, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know. Now I'm not walking bent over. I'm not walking with a cane. You know. But God, I gotta get rid of this. I gotta get rid of this. This is the fat. You look at my arms, my legs, my back. I don't have fat on any of that. It's right in here. You know. I gotta get rid of this crap. And it is what it is, you know. So getting back to prepping, because here I'm having a pity party for myself. Mr. Whistle, welcome, Mr. Whistle. I have not been paying attention. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're doing fantastic. Just checking on y'all, see what's going on, talking. So, let me get back to what I was talking about yesterday. All right, FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, recommended items to include in a basic emergency supply kit. I want to go over this. Water and non-perishable food for several days. Well, actually, they originally said 3 days. Now they say a week. I say a couple of weeks. Extra cell phone battery or charger. Yeah. Having a power station, having a lithium battery, something like a solar charger. If you have like a solar panel that you can charge with. Otherwise, you may have to put a charger in your car and charge your phone in your car. power's out. Battery-powered or hand crank radio. A battery-powered or hand crank radio that can receive NOAA weather radio tone alerts and extra batteries. They always talk about extra batteries. Having a battery caddy. This is a battery daddy. Batteries, different size batteries. Flashlight and extra batteries. Having a lithium torch or a flashlight. Lantern, like a lithium lantern. I have 3 Goal Zero lanterns. And I can charge them with USB. I can hand crank charge them. And actually I can plug a phone into it and it will charge a phone, you know. Whistle to signal for help. First aid kit. Dust mask to help filter contaminated air and plastic sheeting. And duct tape to shelter in place. Like you want like an N95s. Mask, it's got filtration. Moist towelettes, garbage bags and plastic ties for personal sanitation. I keep a couple of these underneath my roll top. Toilet seat. Trash bags. Wipies. In emergency, didn't have, you know, I could use this. The wife's got one out camping right now. Non-sparking wrench or pliers to turn off utilities. A manual can opener if kit contains canned food. You better have a couple of manual can openers. They're only like $5, $6. Local maps. Additional items to consider. Belinda's Country Living. Hello, Belinda. Welcome. I'm going through a FEMA list. We're getting close to hurricane season. Prescription medication and glasses. Infant formula and diapers. Pet food, water and supplies for your pets. Important family documents, such as copies of insurance policies, identification and bank account records, and a portable waterproof container. Cash and change. Having rolls of quarters, having 2 or 3 rolls of quarters. Having cash. It's funny. I've got 2 cards. My daughter carries on my account. My daughter carries one. My wife carries one. I usually carry cash. If I want to, if I want to get something on credit, if I want to use a card, I got to borrow one. Even though it's my name to borrow it. Emergency reference material, such as first aid book or information from www.ready.gov. like a prepper's medical manual. I've showed you stuff like that before. Good to have stuff in print. Sleeping bag or warm blanket for each person. Consider additional bedding if you live in a cold weather climate. Complete change of clothing, including a long sleeve shirt, long pants, and sturdy shoes. Consider additional clothing if you live in a cold weather climate. Having a good jacket, a good hat, good gloves. Fire extinguisher. You should have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen. Matches in a waterproof container. Matches in a waterproof. I've got several of these. Waterproof container. Feminine supplies. Personal hygiene items and hand sanitizer. Mess kits, paper cups, plates, disposable utensils, paper towels, things that you don't have to wash. Use them, chunk them. Paper and pencil, like Write in the Rain and a Write in the Rain pen. Books, games, puzzles, and other activities for children. Those are things that you want to have. Think about it. Think about it. Trying to get organized, which for me is like trying to pull teeth. Constantly piling up stuff. Little Lone Prepper, hello. So, 11 likes, 9 in the house. Please leave a like to support the channel. Yeah, shelter in place gear, and that is true. And another thing is you got to really watch your kids. Little kids, you got to really watch them. Bad things happen. They can walk out into the street and get run over. Some idiot's going down the road 50 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour. You can go through a neighborhood. Same thing with your dogs. You keep your dogs behind a fence, or you got inside dogs. You keep them inside. You keep them behind a fence. They get out. They're not smart enough not to run out in front of a damn car. Kids aren't smart enough not to run out in front of a car if they're real small. You've got to, you got to be responsible. You can't leave a child in a hot car. Oh, I'm going to run inside for a couple of minutes and I'm just going to leave them in the child seat and it gets 120 degrees inside the car. You got to use good judgment. You got to use common sense. Very important. But that's one of those things like where you don't want to learn the hard way. The other thing is, you've got all sorts of sick people out there that will kidnap children. They'll kidnap women, Then they'll find the body. If you're a younger woman, you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone out. You don't want to be alone walking around out at night, jogging at night by yourself. You need to learn how to use a weapon to defend yourself. And and I will tell you, it's good for a woman to learn self-defense. It's good for a woman to learn self-defense. It's really important. And it's good to know how to defend yourself. And a woman who has been trained will most likely beat a man who has not been trained. But a woman who has been trained, very iffy beating a man who's been trained. Because women are just not the equal of men when it comes to physical abilities. You know. Now, I will say a woman has more power in her legs than a man has in his arms. So, like you're training, you've been trained to in martial arts. Woman's power is in her legs. Yes, she can probably land a pretty good blow with her fist, or knowing how to hit somebody, and she can do some damage. You hit them in the right spot. But you don't want to try to get in a fist fight with a man. Your power's in your legs if you're a woman. That's where you're going to do your damage. Hello, how's it going? So, I mean, there's things I can speak to because I can't. I could not train somebody today. At one time, I was going to open up my own. My teacher was going to sponsor me for my own school or my own chapter, I guess you'd call it. I got injured, hurt, had my thumb dislocated, and messed me up for a period of months before I was recovered. And I was at that age. I wasn't working out, I wasn't practicing, I wasn't doing what I needed to do, and I really went to seed over a period of several months. And then I tried to get it back, and I just didn't get where I needed to be, you know. So, yes, prayer is important. Every day when you wake up, thank God for the day. Say the Lord's Prayer. Well, how do you pray? Well, the Lord gave us a prayer. You know, Our Father. Um, I have, you know, I come from a mixed marriage. My mother's Catholic, her people are Catholic, big Catholic people. And my father's Baptist, big Baptist people. And that was considered a mixed marriage back in the day. You know, you talk about mixed marriages, and they say, well, you know, mixed marriages like different races. Well, uh, among the white folks, mixed marriage is different religions, different denominations. That's mixed marriage. And I used to hear stories about my mother was not accepted by my father's family until I was born. Till she gave my father me. The family didn't like her because she was been brought up Catholic. And I'm not insulting Catholics, and I'm not insulting Baptists. I'm not insulting anybody. I'm just saying that, you know, you get preferences and prejudices. Back in the day, the Catholics and the Protestants fought some serious wars and killed each other a lot over differences in opinion. War is over religion, you know. And, you know, when you talk about the Muslims, SD Mountain Man, welcome, SD Mountain Man. You know, you talk about religion and wars over religion. The Muslims fight amongst themselves. They have different denominations. The Sunnis and the Shias, Shiites and the Sunnis, and there are other denominations in Islam, sects in Islam. But those are the two biggies, and those are the two that are always into it. You know, the Iranians are the Shiites, and they're the real radical you know, to a large extent. Not to say that some of the Sunnis are not radical. You know, these holy war types, you know, they want to go out there and fight a jihad or a holy war or whatever. Um, you know, religious fanatics are. Anyway, yeah, mowing before it rains. When it rains, we've had a little rain. We had a little bit of rain. So, if you look at the news, I do news clips. There are certain news sites I go to that are pretty just the news, and they'll give you a conservative take on the news. Brett Bart. Liberals hate Brett Bart, but Brett Bart's pretty reasonable. Um, I look at um, offthepress.com. It gives you stories, print stuff that you can read. I get 1440 Daily Digest. These are all free. I don't pay for any of this. And these are pretty much, they give you, it's like electronic mail. You get the stuff, you read it. They might have stuff attached that you can play, but it'll give it to you. They'll give you blurbs. And I used to really be into the Drudge Report. Drudge would link a bunch of stuff, but he seems to have sort of gone over to a more liberal, or maybe he sold out. Whoever took over kept the name, because it seems to be a lot more to the left than it used to be, and I don't really go for it to the left. Horrible. Yeah, a lot of police officers, especially if you're in blue areas, a lot of police officers. Um, a couple of administrations back, after Bush, the administration came in and really did a lot to hurt race relations, did a lot to animosity, did a lot to question law enforcement. And then you started getting into this Antifa and BLM and a lot of this just crap. And they wanted to defund the police, and they wanted to hold the police accountable for every little thing, and did a lot to hurt us. You know, a lot. The race relations are the worst they've been in the last 50 years. The last, you know, the last 15 years or so. It's been the last 15 years that they've legalized a lot of this crap that was traditionally illegal. And they say yeah, I've got to get a registration for my daughter's Honda this month. It's due in May. Got to get an inspection. Then I got to go down. It's about $75. I've got to go take the inspection, proof of insurance down, and pay them for 1 year's registration. Heather Allen, you're here to abide by the community guidelines. Heather Allen. Well, my community guidelines are slightly different than YouTube's community guidelines. Welcome, Heather. My guidelines are to speak the truth. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I speak the truth. Or at least I speak to my knowledge what the truth is. And did something, some people have told me that they get a content warning when they go onto my channel. They get a warning about my content or about my whatever. Not everybody. You always follow the rules. Well, Heather, God bless you. I always try to follow the law. I try to do what's right. I try to set an example for my kids, my wife, my students. I'm old school. I have old school values. I'm one of those horrible persons that clings to my religion and my guns, my Bible. I'm in the crossroads of Texas. I guess we're sort of flyover. You hurt yourself. I'm sorry. I occasionally do that. I bump into stuff. I'm not as coordinated as I used to be. I bump into stuff. I do that. Feel free to drop your link. Feel free, if you want to post something, post it. I don't resent anybody doing that. Mike Crusher. Hello, Mike. I did 3 loads of clothes today. Did clothes, wash, dried, hangers, fold. I'm trying to get ready for the coming week. The wife and the kid are not here. They're out camping at Coleto Creek Park. The new tent, bought my wife a 8-10 person tent for her birthday in November. Just used it. Check it out. I'm doing well. The Pecron power station's working well. The Bouge RV 12-volt refrigerator's working well. Everything's working well. And if we were out in the boonies, could very easily have a couple of folding panels, a couple hundred watts of folding panels to charge the power station, keep it going so the fridge keeps going. One thing you have to understand, if the power goes out, the idea of charging your phone, you're not going to have service to the cell towers because the cell towers will not have power. So the phones aren't going to work. It's nice to keep it charged, but the phones won't work. Radio's a little bit different, because there will be radio stations that'll probably have generators that'll still be putting out, especially if anything's connected with NOAA or FEMA. for government notifications and such. There'll be that you will need. Yeah, I have the whole house to myself with 2 dogs. Fed the chickens this morning. We have a dozen chickens. I think I'm gonna have to start a new generation because they're not giving eggs the way they used to. And and it's cyclical. The egg thing is cyclical. But I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to look at that. I have been buying a lot of number 10 cans. I've been ordering number 10 cans freeze dried food. Lots of that. I've got lots of rations. I've got a lot of rations. I've got a lot of canned food. I've got a lot of, just peanut butter, jelly, honey, all sorts of stuff. Lots of canned meats, chicken, tuna, Hormel completes, Dingy Moores, soups, lots of stuff. I could probably feed the family for over a year with what I got. Water, I got to do a resupply. Got to refill a bunch, and I've got a bunch of stored water. I've got three-gallon, 5-gallon stackables, but then I've got a lot of the gallon ones that we refill. I keep lots of half liters on hand. I'm constantly buying the half liters. Well, if you're going to be eating chickens, you want to get them when they're young. You don't want to be eating something that's 5 years old. You want something that's like under a year. You want to get them just when they're just reaching, just when they're maturing is when you want. If you're planning on, and we've done that before, but mostly we have chickens for eggs. But we've they're tough. If you get them when they're older, they're tough. You might make a soup with them, but I mean, they're not good eating. Yeah, the caldos, like a Mexican soup, chicken soup, or beef caldo. Yeah, um, gets tough. Gets tough. So 13 likes. Please leave a like if you haven't to support the channel. I will plan on being back tomorrow at 7, hopefully. And I may do some more community wall posts. I've had, so far this evening, I've had 16 channels come through that I've identified. And I may do a couple of community wall posts tomorrow and post some images and then shout out the channels that were in here this evening. I will plan on uploading Joseph Moore's goodie box video. I'll get it to him in the mail tomorrow after school. I'll stop by the post office. Hopefully he'll get it Thursday or Friday. Might be sooner because he's in Oklahoma. And next will be Hillbilly Josh Lofton will be the next one. We'll get one of my goodie boxes. I've got the stuff. I just got to put together. I did not do an unboxing of my Blue Eddy 70 model 70. I need to do an unboxing of that one. I need to pull it out of the box and do a video of that one. I didn't do it. Didn't get it done. Spent most of my time trying to put together the video for Jox's Hillbilly, for Joseph Moore's box. And worked on that, trying to get that done. what's good. Um, well, every day you wake up is good. If you're not in pain, that's good. If you got money to pay your bills, that's good. If you have people that love you, that's good. You know, every day when you wake up, thank God for the day. You don't know how many days you have. People that you care about, tell them you love them. Tell people you love them. Treat people the way you want to be treated. The Boy Scouts, remember the Boy Scout motto is being prepared. Be prepared. The Scout motto, be prepared. Being prepared is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It takes time. It takes time. And I have lots of stuff that I don't show. I don't show usually quantities of what I have. I'll show examples of stuff. Sometimes, like if you look at what I posted, I posted an image from a corner of my room over there where I've got some of my, some of my boxes. And out in my pantry area above my coffee bar, I've got 20 boxes of the ReadyWise 72-hour emergency freeze-dried food. Why do I have 20 of them? Because I got them for $9 a piece when they were going for 40. They were having a clearance, and I bought 20 of them. I paid $180. And I would have paid, how much would I have paid? $800, maybe. I paid $190, so it was less than 25%. And that's when you buy stuff. Like those behind me, I paid $40 in each for those pails. They were going for $88. I bought 10 of them. There's 2 different varieties there. I bought 5 of one, 5 of the other. Those are ReadyWise pails. And, the Mountain House. I mean, I buy stuff when I can get on clearance. I try to buy stuff on good prices. Joseph Moore. How are you doing, Mr. Moore? Thank you for coming in. So I got your box loaded, got your video done, got it edited. I'll try to get that box to the post office tomorrow evening after school. You should get it Thursday, maybe. I'll send you a tracking number and let you know when they say to expect it. And it'll be a premiere Wednesday. It'll be a premiere Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Hillbilly Josh, welcome. Hillbilly, you'll be after when I recover. I got a little bit more energy. I got all the stuff for your box. I'll put it together probably this coming weekend. I did Josh's. I did Joseph's yesterday and today. Sorry. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you haven't left a like, please leave a like. So tomorrow's work day. I got to get up at 5 o'clock. And I've got 2 weeks before I'll be off for 9. I'm just trying to make it. Everybody's ready for school to be out. Kids are ready. The staff's ready. I got a couple of stinkers that have been acting up every damn day. Really getting tired of them. One of them will be at high school next year. I got 2 that'll be at high school next year. And the worst of the worst, probably going to have him back, 6th grader. So, life is good, but it is what it is, I will plan on being back tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk, and I hope everybody has a blessed evening. Thank you, and see y'all tomorrow, hopefully. Bye bye.